So good morning, my friends. Today is a very nerve-wracking day. I'm here at Greenland Garden Center and I'm teaching my first live gardening session on growing more food using perennials. And so I thought I would reach out and do a live session. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know this about YouTubers, but you know, we edit, as I'm sure you can tell, and that gives us a little bit of a sense of you know, kind of control over the content you guys see. This is the first time, no one's here yet. First person will get actually the first person will get one of these prizes. It's an Alberta Urban Garden bag, but anyways, it's slightly terrifying not having the ability to edit. So this is Alberta, and it's been dry lately, but the last 2 weeks it started to rain. It really didn't stop. I was terrified that my class that is outside would be just filled with rain. And you know, rain and camera equipment don't go along so well, so I was just a little terrified. But anyways, this morning I woke up and the weather had shifted. It is sunny, a light breeze, just beautiful. I couldn't be happier. I'm very excited for this class. Thank you guys for coming. I really do appreciate it. The response, especially from YouTube, where I kind of vaguely mentioned it on one vlog, that was fantastic. I think we had like 85 registrants for the email, and when I finally figured out the system, turns out 50 people had registered for this session. As I'm sure many of you know, Perennial is really a crop that lives for more than 2 years, and in the context of your garden, can start to produce right away or take a few years to start to produce, but can produce for decades to come, which means they're a great investment. The intent of my garden is to produce as much food as possible, but also to have a garden that my son and wife can use. If I had it my way about 4 or 5 years ago, it would have just been full. Not really realistic in an urban backyard, especially with you know, a 3-foot version of me tearing around. But just because you've got, you know, other restrictions, dogs or whatever, doesn't mean you can't produce a lot of food in a very small space. If you are restricted like I am to a backyard that only has a finite amount of space, just because this particular tree grows this big or bigger isn't necessarily a limitation. There are dwarfed varieties, which I think this apple tree is, where it's on a rootstock that is a little slower, still very, very hardy, will still do well, but what that means is the tree will grow slower and it will stay to a more compact size than if that same tree was grafted onto a full rootstock. You can also prune. So if you're looking at a tag and you see that it's going to be, you know, 10 meters wide, doesn't necessarily mean you have to let it get 10 meters wide. I've got 2 apple trees in about the same proximity, and I'll simply keep them pruned so that they can produce together and work with the space that you have. The other thing is containers are fantastic. About half of my perennial fruit producing crops are in containers, and that way I can kind of push the limits of the hardiness zones. So I finished the session and it ended up being about a 90-minute workshop and about 45 minutes of questions. And I gotta say, thanks to everyone who participated, who came by. There was a bunch of you, and you all know who you are. And it was really nice to meet you and put faces to names. And many of us had been emailing back and forth for a variety of reasons. And thank you to Greenland Garden Center. I mean, they were nice enough to not only provide us the space for free, but to give the members of the workshop a 25% off gift card, which, I mean, I saw them all put to good use right away. And that was really cool of them to do and to facilitate this, and they didn't have to. It's really nice. I really enjoyed myself. I told myself I wasn't going to walk away with anything, but I had one of those 25% off coupons as well. and I got the last remaining blueberry for my collection. This is another low bush variety, and it should grow about 1.5 meters tall and wide and produce blueberries. There's a ton of blueberries already on this bush. So it joins the 3 other impulse bought blueberries that I have. I think I'm going to try to grow this one in a container and bring it into the garage in the winter to see if I can't overwinter it in a container. Anyways, from the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone very much. If you're interested, go check out albertaurbangarden.ca. Make sure to register for the email list, as I'll send kind of monthly updates and ad hoc things about future workshops. I really enjoyed myself. Please let me know if this is something that you'd like to attend. I know a lot of you had expressed interest in attending, but due to geographic restraints weren't able to. Would you be interested in like an online version of this, or just kind of a live Q&A? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'm going to leave you with this time lapse that I shot. Okay. Oh, Burke, don't spray plants.
I watered it.
No, not with that. I'll give you a watering can, okay?